From the traditional printed media such as books, magazines, newspapers, to today's new media such as blog, e-books. Along with the emergence of these new writing technologies, particularly hypertext has made a great change in literature, narrative, even culture. Especially today's hypertext has been expanded into a multitude of contexts, such as fiction, poetry, computer games, even some newspapers. According to Andrew Boniman's book, Writing for New Media, the word hypertext was coined in 1965 by Theodore Nelson to describe the use of computers to express the nonlinear structure of writing ideas. Hypertext uses hyperlinks that take the reader to other places in the text or to other text altogether. However, linear text is the material you are used to reading in books, magazines, newspapers, and other printed material. The content is displayed in a straight line of paragraphs and pages from beginning to end. Hypertext with traditional linear printed text. The changes of narrative are mainly focused on the following four factors: pre-writing, writing, rewriting, and manuscript preparation. However, the differences between hypertext writing and linear text writing in these four stages produces the changes in narrative. The first stage, pre-writing. Both writers of linear text and hypertext usually choose a specific subject, establish a purpose, describe an outline, search enough information, and so on. However, the writers of hypertext need to consider the use of color, images, hardware, software, navigable links, monitors, chunks, and so on. These visible and dynamic effects makes the narrative more attractive to readers. On the other hand, before the writers of linear text writing their stories or something else, they already identified their audience, make sure their work is suited for children or adults and so on. However, the writers of hypertext must consider that anyone at anywhere and at any time could read their work. So, narrative of hypertext usually has a large range of audience than the traditional printed work. Second stage, writing. When writers begin to write their works, both of them have a clear theme and develop their work according to the theme and purpose. But the writer of linear text usually has a clear structure, including introduction, body, and conclusion. There is also a consistent flow of the whole work, so the writers control the order of the whole story. And readers may not like the order that the author created, and sometimes they may want to know more information about a specific character, but it's really hard for readers to find that information. However, the hypertext is written in chunks with different links. Writers haven't to write all the work one time, and readers are less controlled by the order and sequence that the author wrote, because reader could choose to click a mouse on any highlighted buttons or links to see what they want to see on the new screen. So this factor just expresses an important character of hypertext, interactivity, which changes the reader, author, and text relationship. For the traditional books, magazines, newspapers, most novels or news are intended to read from the beginning to end. Therefore, it seems as there is a kind of silence relationship between the text, reader, and author. However, the interactive hypertext can provide readers help to navigate a database and find desired information without any order, such as readers can freely choose the specific chapters, pages, search main words or phrases according to their desire to get those information. Meanwhile, hypertext also provides a shared and external interactivity. So there is a more dynamic relationship between hypertext and reader. This is a big change for narrative. The third stage, rewriting. When writers rewrite their work, both of two kinds of writers need to proofread their work, including uses of words, grammar, punctuation, accuracy, clarity, and so on. However, the writers of hypertext also check the accuracy of those relevant hyperlinks, especially those outside references. If readers want to know more about relevant information, they could directly click the links to know more about the writer's novel. So, this part also makes the narrative more perfect than the traditional link. The fourth stage, manuscript preparation. Usually, linear text writers always edit margins, typeface, font size, and line spacing according to the different genres of their works, while the hypertext writers usually edit the color, images, graphics, monitor, and so on. All these factors can also be regarded as the assistance factors to help the new form of narrative attract more different readers. Through the whole process of writing a novel in traditional way and in today's new hypertext method, there is no denying that hypertext bring too much changes to narrative. It's inevitable that as technology advances, new methods of information delivery will undoubtedly appear.